Cal, thank you. Okay, on the Health Watch right now, a question some of you may have. How often do you forget something or have a thought that feels a little cloudy? If that's you, the question is this just normal aging, or is it the sign of something more sinister, maybe early onset dementia or Alzheimer's disease? Well, this morning we're getting some answers with Morgan Daven from the Alzheimer's Association, joining us now from Chicago. Morning, Morgan, good morning. How are you today?
Doing great, thanks, Tim. And thanks for the chance to share some important information about mild cognitive impairment from this year's Facts and Figures report.
Yeah, well, why don't we just start? Actually, let me start with a broader question. When people do have that sort of forgetfulness from time to time, we say the words normal aging. Is that even a thing? Is there some level of this that's okay and not pathological, or is it all of it a sign that maybe something is starting to go a little wrong?
So, you know, all of us do experience some cognitive decline as we age. Some of that is normal. But with mild cognitive impairment, or MCI, this involves changes in memory or thinking that really do go beyond normal aging. About 1 in 7 Americans age 60 and older have MCI, and it's important to know about because in some cases it can progress to dementia. Now, not everyone who has MCI will get dementia, but studies suggest about 10 to 15% of those with MCI will get dementia each year. So we're urging people who have concerns about their memory or thinking to talk with their doctor.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, why specifically is the Alzheimer's Association focusing its attention on this issue right now?
Yes, MCI is really important in terms of that early detection and to know what's causing it, too. There can be a number of causes, and so some of those causes are treatable. That can include depression or side effects from some medications or even sleep apnea. It's also important because there's a certain type of MCI called MCI due to Alzheimer's, and that's characteristics of the changes in the brain that are associated with Alzheimer's disease. So getting an early diagnosis is key, so families have time to make financial and healthcare decisions.
Does that present differently in people? Or I guess more broadly, what should people be looking for to start triggering the idea that they want to go see a doctor as opposed to just sort of letting it go?
So one example of what that can look like with mild cognitive impairment is maybe forgetting conversations or having a hard time finding your way around a place that you know well. But really, if you have any question or concern about memory or thinking for yourself or for a loved one, the best place to start is to bring it up with your doctor.
And speaking of doctors, is it somewhat challenging for doctors to diagnose and treat MCI?
Unfortunately, there are challenges. We surveyed primary care doctors, and many of them identified barriers such as having a lack of specialists to refer their patients to, and sometimes reluctance to diagnose a disease that has limited treatment options. But it's important to know that that's changing. Now there's the first medication that targets the early stages of Alzheimer's disease, and many more are under development. So that early and accurate diagnosis helps identify who may be eligible for these treatments and for clinical trials.
So where can people go and turn to the Alzheimer's Association for more information?
To learn more, go to alz.org or call the Alzheimer's Association at our 24/7 helpline, which is available 365 days a year.
I know we've said it. It's sort of a byproduct of people being healthier and living longer. The more they age, the more likely they are to get Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. So this is a growing problem. And like you said, Morgan, early detection is everything. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today from Chicago. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim.
Glad to have you on the show.